Okay, I should say it's being live streamed. That's so fun. Trying to do too many things with this computer all at once because I was also hoping to play some music, but then I realized when it is streaming at the same time, it's challenging the Zoom too much. So I had to, anyway, you know how it is. Okay, I should say it's being live streamed. Okay, the live stream's working. Recording is working. And Nikki says they're in our future. Yeah, you know, I got left behind in Australia once because the person that booked our flight didn't realize that we crossed the international date line. And anyways, big mess. Anyway, we don't really need to start a meeting that way. Anyway, thank you everybody for being here. And I hadn't done one of these, so I just thought I would. And I thought I would try and have us work on something that's a little bit interactive. In other words, we'll collaborate a little bit. And that'll be fun. And I'll make that pretty clear in a moment. I'm gonna quickly mention a couple things, the usual things that I sort of mention. I'll go through it really fast though. And that is here that you, this is the Sequential Artists Workshop, we believe in comics Friday night workshops. Are y'all seeing that? I think so. Sorry, there we go. And we're a nonprofit school. If you haven't seen us, you can find us at learn.sawcomics.org. We've got some courses and other things coming up soon. The next Believer workshop next Friday will be March 4th with Mel Gilman. And they're gonna do fairy tale comics. I'm not sure what they've got in store. Leela's doing another mentoring group in April. Those have been really popular, and the March one sold out. And I'm starting something on February 28th. It's actually one of my favorite courses. And what we're going to do tonight is a bit of a preview of it. And so I admit I'm sort of hoping to sort of rope some of you into it. It's called Going In for the Snakes. I'll explain a little more in a bit, and that starts Monday. We also have some ongoing groups like the Saw Flow and Publish group, where we do weekly exercises, but also publish quarterly comics. And we also have a graphic memoir and medicine group that's really active and really great. I guess this donation thing over here is on the right, but I'll post some more about that later. This is a quick look at the Flow group, which gives you these free courses as well. If you want to take a look at that, you'll find that at Saw Comics. This is the most recent book that we published, Pandemic Comics Anthology. So yeah, share what you do tonight. I've really been enjoying after these workshops and just checking out how fast people are sharing on like Instagram. And it's been pretty fun to check things out. You can hashtag Friday Night Comics. You can tag us Comics at Comics Workshop, or you can also head over to members.sawcomics.org, and we're sharing things there too. And if Susan is doing a debriefing after this or whatever, definitely post that in the chat, Susan.
Will do.
Awesome, thank you. So there's just a little bit of what that membership site looks like, and there's always tons of events. I saw people already talking in the chat about that. I don't even know what's going on tomorrow. I think the Saturday morning cartoons are still happening, and I haven't attended one of those in weeks or months. Here's some ways you can support us with tuitions and donations. Please no inappropriate speech or imagery. Enjoy. And then, oh yeah, and last moment to mention that if you're watching on Eventbrite, if things get a little quirky, you can open in Zoom instead. And I've been told that certain functions work better in Zoom rather than Eventbrite. And so Susan or somebody will give you a hand if you mention it in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing and then share one more time and show really fast. Go over to, no, there. The Going In for the Snakes homepage is here. It starts, and I'll just show you a quick look at what that we're going to cover. Here we go. we do some list building and a lot of reading, actually. And that's one reason I like the course, because it's not all me blabbing. I'm actually showing you guys some of my favorite comics, and then we sort of try and take some inspiration from it. Session 1 features something called Song Lyrics and Abstract Comics, and that's sort of what we're going to do tonight. And I better get started. We look at some dream imagery, and then we look at comics that are about love, and then we look at comics that are about society, and then we get really heavy and look at comics that are about bodies and physicality, and then we sort of look at comics that are about history, which we can't escape. We usually do it asynchronously, but we're going to do Monday night calls on it too. So you can take a look at that URL. I'll put that in the chat at some point. All right. I think we're ready to start. And I'm not monitoring the chat in the usual way.
We're good.
And thanks, Susan. And Susan will be doing that. But I will, by the end, post a link. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it right now, and then I won't for the next workshop, which is Mel Gilman. But in the usual spot, you'll see that. So, what I wanted to talk about and show is abstract comics and abstract art. And what you'll need today is maybe 2 pieces of paper. You know what? I'm gonna focus. Well, I won't do it yet, but I'll just do this. Any pens and paper will do. If you have 2 types of pens, that would be great, because you might have some fun exploring combinations. But all you need is a pen and paper. You probably want 2. Oops. You probably want 2 pieces of paper, because we're going to scribble on the first one, and then we're going to sort of make something on the second one. So there we go. We at SAW, we do some abstract comics. Like they might look like, oh wait, you know what? I'll just show it like that. They might look like that, just some squiggles and some paint. You don't have to read the words yet, because they're not too relevant, but sometimes, oh, thanks for spotlighting that, Susan. Sometimes things start to merge, maybe things will separate. Everybody has their own way of sort of making marks on a page. And I want to really quickly share my screen one more time and show some other abstract comics that have been out there here. Let's see. Are you seeing a sort of black and white bunch of squibbles? Susan, I think so, right?
Yep.
Cool. So it doesn't really, does it mean something? I don't know, but this is fun mark making to me. When I see this sort of Z shape, it sort of merges here. It feels like it's collecting a little bit. It feels like it's even collecting a little more, and maybe we're zooming in, and then maybe it's compacting a little, and then it's sort of exploding or something. There's not a literal meaning to it. And I don't think the artist wanted us to have a literal meaning, but that's how I sort of read it. There are lots of examples of this. I'm going to scroll through and find this simple one here. This is like a little green blob and a little yellow star, and green blob sort of eats the yellow star or something, or maybe the yellow star inserts itself into the blob. You're not really sure. And then it emerges again here. And then there's this sort of, it moves away, and then some sort of blue star does something similar. And then 2 circles come in and they kind of merge in, and who knows what that comic is about. But it definitely, the thing I like about it is that things are kind of happening and things are changing. I'm sort of simple that way, and that I like to be able to read it, but sometimes there are things that are changing that are less easy to see. For instance, this one, and I forget who some of the artists are who did these, I'm afraid, but there's a lot of movement in this one, and it's things are changing, and it feels very expressive and like dance to me, but I'm not really sure what's happening. But it does feel like it moves through time and space in the way a comic usually does. I'll show a couple more. This seems to be kind of about this shape and how it moves into the panel and maybe takes over, but then starts to smooth out. I don't know what that's about, but it's playing with shapes and playing with the comic panels we get, which we're used to. Some people, for instance, on this one, and this one are playing with their materials a little more. So if you're the type of person who likes to use brush or something like that, I'd encourage you to go grab it now, because we're going to do something like this. And the way I thought we would start, I'm just going to scroll through these as I talk just for another moment or two. Let's see. Sometimes I like this simple one. I always like simple things, but they're very complex ones too. Okay, I'll stop sharing. And what I'm actually going to do is spotlight my piece of paper, if I can find it. Maybe Susan can. There it is. I'm going to spotlight that. Is that showing? There we go. So what I thought is we could, in whatever way we feel is appropriate, all right, great, is to draw 3 states of being. And the first state of being I thought we would try and draw is celebration. What does celebration look like if you're only doing it in marks and drawings and stuff like that? And everybody's going to be different. Like, you know, maybe you want to make some circly things, and maybe you want there to be some sort of fireworky, exaltation-y movement of some arm movement sort of thing or something. What does celebration look like to you? Spend a minute and just draw celebration on a piece of paper, and do it again if you feel like you want to. And again, I said if you have a couple pens, maybe, or pencils, you might want to play around with it, and maybe adding some confetti or something might be celebration. So we're writing celebration, or we're drawing in an abstract way celebration. Does that make sense? Can we do that for 30 seconds? That's what my celebration looks like. Keep wanting to draw. They seem like extended arms to me. So the next thing, let's draw another state of being, and that is shyness. What does shyness look like? And maybe you start to feel it in your body or something, and you start to feel a kind of closing in, maybe, or maybe a little hiding inside of something, maybe. I don't know. What does shyness look like? I didn't mean to, but I added some squiggles that make it look kind of nervous, but a nervous kind of shyness makes sense, I think. At least in my case. Are we all on the same page? Are we all sort of just making some things? I see Nikki has their camera trained on their art making, so that's really lovely to see. I love watching people make stuff. So how about another one? How about, you know what? Let's make conflict one. You know, what does conflict look like? Why not? And right now, as I doodle conflict, what I'd like to see Pam doesn't see any marks on the paper. Is that true of anyone else?
They're there. They're here.
Oh, Holly sees them. Okay. Okay, thank you, Karen.
I'm not seeing them either. It's just a piece of paper.
Is it because
So
it's dull?
are you?
That's
Do you have
not very bright.
Dull? You see the paper, but you don't see the marks.
Right.
You see my hand on the pen?
I see the paper and I don't see the marks, and I am on Eventbrite. Could that have something to do with it? I see a piece of paper
You see
on a black background.
I see
No.
the
Weird.
drawing. I see the drawing.
No.
Change to Zoom because you can see them in Zoom.
Yeah, I'm on Zoom and I can see the drawings just fine.
I'm on Zoom.
If you
All right, I'm gonna let Susan handle this. Interesting. Do you see my hand over the paper right now?
No,
Yes.
Wiggling?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
I'd say try going out and coming back to Zoom.
Yeah.
Is there anybody
Yeah.
who's in Zoom who can't see the marks on the paper?
Zoomers see it all.
Yeah, we see it.
I can't
think
see it. I
Eventbrite
just
might
see a
have,
blank paper.
Eventbrite might have frozen.
Mm.
Oh, it froze on Eventbrite. But we
Mm.
can hear each other. I don't know.
So if you go to the Zoom in
Zoom is working. Eventbrite.
I can see it now.
thanks,
Pam can see it. Hi, Pam. Okay.
Aaron
Hi.
says we draw that feeling when a tech screws up.
Totally. In fact, that was actually the next thing I was going to ask. Is there are other states of being, and I'd love it to put it in the chat. I'm going to put a bunch of asterisks in the chat, and just so we know where to find it later. Other states of being that you might be able to represent. Write something down in the chat. If you're like, what are some other things? You know, obviously, you know, the standard emotions, joy and surprise and things like that. Splendor, anxiety, great. Awe, you guys got it. Melancholy, love it. Impatience, exhaustion, great, great, great. Okay, as you guys fill this up, we're gonna go to the next stage. There are 3 stages tonight. The second stage is, I want you to think about a song lyric that you really love and really moves you. And we're going to take 5 words from it and put that in the chat. So, so you can't do like, if I can make it there, I can make it anywhere, New York, New York. It's too many words. You can do it if I can make it. Oh, that's great. If I can make it. Oh, that's perfect. The reason I choose 5 words for this exercise, and you can, after this, you can do whatever you want, but for this exercise, we choose 5 words, is because first of all, it sort of takes it out of the complete plagiarism realm, which is ordinarily fine. Not too bad of a thing. And also it sort of fractures it or fragments it in an interesting way, the way that if I can make it is somehow this like really interesting plaintive sort of desire that's otherwise in a very, very common song. So what I'd like to see, and I think people are already doing it, I'm going to put another asterisk. Catch You by the Ponytail, great, I know that one. Throw in 5 words from, and don't go crazy because we want to be able to, we just don't do 20, just do 1 or 2. Do 5 words, and I'm going to put in my own, which came from a song that I just heard the other day for the first time. It was really beautiful. Okay, great. Oh, terrific. I drew a map of
Oh my
Canada.
goodness.
I always pull out some Joni Mitchell when you guys. Simple ones are really nice. I'm gonna love you. All eyes on me, hands. When the snow falls on, lovely. We all want something beautiful. Oh, that's terrific. Oh, these are gonna be great. Okay. Just say I love him. I've been afraid of changes. Oh, that's great. Your heart sings like a kettle. That's 6, but I know they're good. They're good. You didn't want to leave it at your heart sings like a. In the middle of June, great. These are terrific. Okay, so keep doing that, and we're going to move into the beginning of part 3. So, oh, is Margaret here? Get up off of that thing. Offa counts as 1, huh, Margaret? I love it. Thank you. Okay, so. So we're going to pull out, we're going to go to a new piece of paper and we're going to make a 6-panel comic. I'm going to put on some music, and in the way that we tend to do this, we'll give like a minute or 2 per panel, really fast. A 6-panel comic and I'm going to ask Susan to write this in the chat if she wouldn't mind. The easiest way to create a 6-panel comic is a line down the center and then a line down here. And what I want you to do is explore making a comic abstract that goes from one state to the other. So you may have to scroll up all the way to where the look for those asterisks to where people were writing in the state. Maybe you start with celebration and you go to doubt or melancholy, or you go from envy to awe. Oh, that's great. I'm going to go from envy to awe. I'm just writing it because I'll forget it otherwise. Oops, can you see that? Envy to awe. You choose 2 states. You're going to draw envy here, and you could even do panel 6. You can draw awe here, and then in between, we're going to take a minute or 2 per panel and try and get from envy to awe. So I'm going to turn on some music. I'll look, let's see, 7:23. We can do about 2 to 3 minutes a panel. The less we think about it, probably the better in some cases, because we want to make this, again, abstractly. You can use dots, you can use lines, you can use circles, you can use paint, you can use tape, you can use collage. And again, scroll up to the top and look for those states of being that people wrote. These are wonderful. I hope we save the chat. Splendor to tired, impatience to exhaustion. You could just go down the list. It's great. But I'm going to do envy to awe because that's right up my alley. So I'm going to put on some music and I'll keep you. Hopefully that won't be too annoying for people. I don't even know if we can hear it. All right. And I'm going to draw, what does envy look like? Everybody's different, and my marks tend to be really scratchy, like branches. But you might be swirly. Oh, this music's weird. I love it, but I'm going to change it to the next one.
Tom, people are asking about the song connection.
About the what connection?
The
Don't
connection
worry
to the
about it
song.
yet. Don't worry about the song connection yet.
Stay tuned.
We're going to draw a 6-panel comic.
Are we going to use 6 different states or only 2 states?
Go from envy to awe, or go from whatever to whatever. And in between, you figure out how to draw it. I'll show you. I'm going to mute this. So I'm going to draw my envy state. I don't know. Maybe it's a societal thing. Maybe. So envy. I'm going to draw some sort of shimmering thing. I'm going to draw people up here or something. I don't know if they're people. I'm just trying to think of like. So this is like, in some ways, these are my characters, these blobs that I'm drawing here. And I think I'm just going to, I'm getting very literal. I'm almost putting a circle around this character. Like, so maybe there is some envy happening here. But again, you don't have to be literal. You can make whatever you want, but I would suggest trying to take whatever you draw in the first panel and move it to a different sort of existence, if that's the right word, in the last panel. In fact, I would suggest maybe doing the 6th panel next, and that's what I'm going to do. Awe. And I'm going to purposely make it less sticky and less sharp, and I'm going to make it more, maybe I'll even take out this lead pen, and I'm going to make it more circular, and maybe I'm going to make it feel like a wave. Awe to me feels like something in the distance, so I want to think about that, but I haven't done it yet. There, put this character in the distance. By character, I mean just sort of a blob. So I'll let you know every 2 minutes. So it's 7:27, we'll say that we started panel 2. So in 2 minutes, I'll ask you to move on to panel 3 in whatever way you're doing it. If you're doing it in order, that's fine. I'm going to do it in order after I do my 6th panel, but I'm going to start. My panel 2 is this panel. Does that make sense?
Tom, what role do the words of the song play?
They don't
Like, where do
don't worry
they
about it.
fit in?
Don't worry about it yet.
The words of the song?
Yeah, don't worry about the
We're
words.
It'll
not
come
using
later.
them yet. Okay, good.
Just play with the images and play with the state of being. Play with the words of the concepts. Play with the marks on the page. And things may change. I'm not sure I'm exactly drawing awe. I think I am, kind of. Still kind of scrapey. I'm gonna look for some music to play, just a little bit. Oh, I know. Oh wait, not that. No, not that either. No. Oh, this is good. We can all just watch Nikki draw. Look at that big black square. I love it. Okay. So I would say now is a good time to move to panel 3, and that for me is here. And thank you, Chris, in the chat for sort of helping me be clear. All right. So now, I mean, don't overthink it and don't worry too much. And if you draw something completely different in panel 2, it'll be okay. You can sometimes overthink it and worry too much about how you're going to get one thing to the other. But being surprised is part of the fun of this. I already noticed that this thing sort of wants to turn into that little dot, and maybe I'll let it by filling in here a little bit, letting it get smaller, maybe even going back in here and making it bigger. And I have no red here, but lots of red here, so maybe I'll introduce red later. And again, I'm taking 2 minutes per panel, so I'll let you know when another minute for panel 3 or so. Introducing a little bit of red. So move on. If you're not on panel 2, 3, 4, now would be a good time to make sure you're doing panel 4. If you're getting too precious about it, don't be afraid to change it up completely. Make things change direction, sort of accidentally. helping me be less literal. Clarity is my weakness. Yeah, it's okay. We're not looking for clarity. We're just looking to be surprised by our own art making for 20, 30 minutes. That's all. To let something that doesn't exist begin to exist. It's really all. Well, that reminds me, I'm giving a talk tomorrow about process versus product on, you have to Google it because I can't remember where it is, the Comic Art Symposium. It's online. When I get talking, I start to make too many marks. So if you're not onto panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, yeah. And this would be a good time to be on panel 5. This is my panel 5 here. It's okay to have no idea if this is working, because I have no idea if this is working. In the end, did I draw envy to awe? I don't know. Feel free to make multiple. A lot of you fine artists know that sometimes the choice of media makes the decisions for you. When you pick up a different pen, it says, put me here. I'm on panel 6. If you aren't, that's okay. What I'm going to do is finish my panel 6, and then I'll tell you about the song lyric. For those of you anxious to move on. Lee is asking about the presentation. I'll try and find it really fast.
I couldn't find it.
Okay, hang on, I'll find it.
What?
I found it. Okay. Yeah, Michelle's up quick on the search engine. There's one announcement for it. It should have a URL for it. So I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit. So those of you wondering what the next step is, because we're really wrapping up, and I really, really, really can't wait to see what everybody's done. All we do with the song lyric is we scroll up and find one we like and put it in there somewhere, anywhere. And I don't know what one I'm going to pick yet. I'm not going to pick the Joni Mitchell one because I always do Joni Mitchell. I'm not going to pick the one I put in. I'm going to just look. I look stunning and cadaverous. Whoa. All eyes on me, hands. This is great. In the darkness I remain. See the doorway to 1,000 churches. That's a good one. Way too many words. 7, I think. I was drinking to remember. Your heart sings like a kettle. That would be breaking the rules if I do that one. But I'm gonna do 5. Sit and drink pennyroyal tea. There's 2. If the sun don't shine, that's a nice one. Put up a parking lot. Boy, lots of Joni Mitchell today. Don't leave my horse here alone. Anyway, pick one. I'm finding a hard time. Girl, put your records on. I'm an island. I can be your mountain. I'd rather be sorry. Get up off of that thing. So here's the thing. You can put these words, I would choose one song lyric and I would just find how that song lyric wants to fit. If I was going to choose get off of that thing that my best friend in the world, Margaret, put, I would probably put it in one panel. Get up off of that thing and just put it there. I'm not going to do that one because I want to look for one that's maybe a little sadder or something. And so so I'm going to see someone wrote, Ricky, don't lose that number. I'm not very sad, although I like it. So let's just say I was going to choose In the Darkness I Remain. That one I might want to spread out over a couple of panels. And maybe I write maybe I write darkness, I would write here. And then here I would write I remain. And I would let these 3 panels be silent perhaps. You can do anything you want with the words. You can let the words be part of the composition and the way that things are moving in your panel, or you can make them just like little boxes that are sort of more ordinary. I think I might actually choose the one I put it. Streaming in on sunlight wings. That's a nice one. Sheep go to heaven, goats. That's great. I don't know what that means. The landslide brings you down. I think I'm going to use that one. Sometimes you just have to go with it. So scroll up, find those songs, find those song lyrics. One Joni Mitchell sparks a lot more Joni Mitchell. That's terrific. And seriously spend 2 minutes, because then we want to get to sharing and I want to see what you came up with. Spend 2 minutes fitting in some one of those song lyrics, one of those 5-word songs. What did I say I was going to do?
Yes, 5 words over 6 panels.
Yeah. Feel free to find any way it wants to fit in. It could fit in, you could put it in one panel. You could put it in one panel at a time and leave one blank. It is another reason I sort of lied. I didn't lie, but I didn't tell you there was another reason I choose 5 words, and that's because it's hard to break it into 6 panels. You have to sort of, you can't do 1 word per image because it leaves one blank. So it just makes it just a slightly bit discordant, which is good for us, I think. Been cheated, been mistreated. David. Boy, I gotta find one. Oh yeah, the landslide brings you down. Here. I don't think the lyrics need to match. You'll just go, the idea is to just go by feel. Don't think about it too much. I forgot what I was writing. Something about a landslide.
Sounds Sometimes the weirder the more disparate the lyrics are than the images, the more interesting they can be.
It could be that way. You don't, you know, and a lot of times we try and the landslide brings you down. I have to copy that. Thank you, Allison. The great thing about doing comics and art of any kind quickly is that you can always do it again. So if like later tonight, you're like, oh, I did it wrong, just do it again. Okay, mine's done. Here's what I did, and we'll start sharing in just a moment because I'd love to see what you came up with. I left my first two. Oops, I'm gonna turn down that music now. I left my first two blank. The red starts to creep in, and then it says the landslide here. And then over here it says brings. Oh, and I need to slide it up so you can see it. There we go. And then U is in red here, and then down all the way in the bottom right. I don't know exactly what it means. I kind of like it. Kind of feel like the text went against the grain of the imagery a little bit, because I was trying to end with awe, and it kind of did. And landslide bringing you down is kind of, so they're kind of like at cross purposes. And this is something I'll leave in my sketchbook and someday tweak or something like that. Does this make sense? Are we all sort of getting to a finished point? And if so, I'd love to see people who want to raise their hand, and we'll start sharing. And I just want to read what Libby says. I love the mind hack of 5 words rather than 6, which, yeah, thank you, Libby, for understanding and saying that correctly. Okay. Yeah, let's just see. I'm going to raise my own hand, and because at least I found that sort of keeps me in view a little bit. Okay, Namita, I'm going to replace Spotlight. Are you ready? Can you show us what you did?
Sure, thanks. Okay, so wait, can you see this?
Yeah, we sure can. Oh, changes all over the place.
I had the same song as you. So yeah, it was dismissal to respect. And I added in the line is, I've been afraid of changes. And I kind of, yeah, echoed changes all over the place to this kind of conflict area before it actually transformed into some more harmony, lines looking at each other, kind of embracing a little.
There's definite harmony in the. It's funny. So you came up with that. You found that song lyric after doing this bit of
it, yeah.
The discord is in that 4th panel, and then it's it's lovely. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks so much. We'll go to Cheryl next. Sorry for breezing through these, and I'll try and make a list in a moment. Oops.
Do you want me to make a list, Tom?
Sure. Great. Okay, Cheryl. So you're on Lonely Children Lose Their Minds. I didn't see that lyric in there. Wow.
It wasn't in there. It was a Mark Lanigan song.
Oh, we just lost this week. But
yeah,
tell us real quickly about the imagery.
I did whatever your one was, something to awe.
Oh, envy to awe. Oh,
yeah. So I started with green, and then I don't know. I was like, how can I show like the heavens at the end? And that's what I got.
Nice. I love it. I love it. The juxtaposition of lose with this thing, which clearly looks like a heartbeat monitor or something, is pretty intense too. I love this, the children panel most of all, I think. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm going to go to Michelle over there. Adita's going to have to come on screen in order for to be spotlighted. So we'll go to Michelle.
Is that me? Oh, hi.
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry to not call you Mishka. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Wonder to exhaustion. I was dumbfounded by the truth, or by truth.
Oh,
So it's
I
kind
like
of
this little
enveloping
blobby
and
thing.
exhausting. What?
Yeah, I like the little blobby thing, how it comes.
Yeah. It's kind of a mutual exhaustion.
I know that song. What is that song? Does that?
I don't know. Somebody put it in the lyrics.
It's I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it.
Whole
Okay.
of the moon, someone says.
Oh, of course, it's the Whole of the Moon. Yeah, by the
Thanks,
water.
Allison.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lyric too.
Cool. Let's see what Umi did now. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle.
Hi. So I wasn't really thinking about any song, but it just happened to be my song this time, or like all the time. So it's Jimmy Cliff's "Let Your Yeah Be Yeah." Do you see it? Wow,
Yeah.
this is so bad.
Yeah. Love these blobs. Or these shaped.
So it's like, you keep telling me yes, but you don't mean it. You keep telling me no and try to lean it. And
Whoa.
you're giving me buts and maybes. And you know this will drive me crazy. Why can't you tell it? No. Why can't you tell it like it is? You better let your yeah be yeah and your no be no now. You know, something like that. So
You added
that's what
syncopation.
happened. Yeah, but
Cool. I love how they
was
look.
really amazed.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Umi. I
Thanks.
love how they look like feet at the end. Cool. Okay. I might be seeing a different list than Susan's seeing. I'm seeing Cassie next. And then I'll try and get online with Susan, but maybe. Oh, I think you might be muted. So there you go.
Mine, I did the story a lot with color. I went from loneliness to belonging. So first we have this little circle and he's like, oh, where do I belong? But then he starts figuring it out. He starts figuring out that he's okay by himself. And then once he figures out that he's okay by himself, then he vibes with another little circle. And the lyric is a new kind of bright.
Oh, see, that's great. That works perfectly well. It just felt like it wanted to be there from the beginning. When you saw that song lyric, did that?
I actually didn't pick one from the list. I had kind of thought to myself, oh, I want to pick something from Solar Power by Lorde, because that's what I've been listening to like on repeat lately. And so I had the lyrics pulled up and I chose a lyric to match my to match my comic.
Great, thanks so much. Wow. And I can't believe I get to see Roxanne Palmer on my screen.
Hey.
Roxanne, hi.
I did a apathy to disgust. So, and I don't know, it felt right. I don't really want to try and explain it.
No one needs to explain.
And then I've been afraid of changes as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't remember where the song is. Oh, the green just coming in and being a problem and then exploding is really good.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about, like a lot of us, virality lately.
Oh.
So.
Indeed. Thanks, Roxanne.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I think we did Allison. I've got Audrey next. I know it's probably not what Susan says.
Oh, we're on track.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, hi. I went all dark and I don't even know why, but anyway, so this one goes from excited to happy to okay to bored, indifferent, flat, and then I went and looked at the words and I picked in the darkness I remain.
Where would you put that? Are they on that page?
It's on the very
yeah.
Flat.
Yeah, I like when they just become kind of a coda to the imagery. Oh, that is dark.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Bummer. It's okay. You can go
I don't feel dark today at all, but I know. Well, there you go.
You're just letting stuff come through you. It's okay. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
ND, if ND is there, go on video and then we will, if ND is not there. Oh, there we go. Replace spotlight. There we go.
Okay, sorry. I was
Bravo.
in my own little world. Just a second, please. So I tried to go by the directions, but I ended up just doing more realism, I guess. It's Bjork hyper ballad, Bjork's hyper ballad. So, you know, I go through all this so I can feel safe again with you.
Nice.
And it's the throwing things onto the rocks and then throwing yourself onto the rocks and then feeling safe at the end. It starts from a position of angst, I think, to a position of safety.
Huh. Wow. Well, they're lovely drawings. Thank you. And amazing you got them done so quickly. and thanks for including Bjork in there too. Great. Thank you.
I like Bjork.
Yeah, me too. All right. We will go to Drew next. Drew Colbert. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nancy.
Okay. Hi.
On Drew's thing. So I went from peace to annoyance. And
yeah. Oh wait, or annoyance to peace.
Annoyance to peace. Sorry, annoyance.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like it.
And I used a lyric, which I think is from Talking Heads, as the days go by.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's a really nice one. I mean, it just feels like, even just like taking it literally and just knowing that so many of our days have annoyance, and to think that maybe as the days go by, there can be repeated annoyance to peace patterns, you know. It's lovely. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I love the brushy lettering too. That works really well.
Yeah, I pulled out a pen I don't use that much, and now I want to get more ink for it because
Awesome.
But it's a Pentel.
The Pentel, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
Okay, we'll go to Katya next, or Katya, I'm not sure. Hi.
All right, Katya.
Katya.
Unmute myself. Okay, there we are. Hello.
Uh-huh.
So mine was fear to joy.
Oh. Yeah. Can't wait to see what the words are.
And the words are light that never goes out.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. That is our counterbalance to the dark one, a couple.
Which is weird because usually I go the other way. And, you know, it's a very depressing song. So
is it?
It's pretty, yeah.
Somebody's mentioned, is that a Smith song? Somebody's mentioning that. Okay.
It is a Smith song. It's a light that never goes out, or light that never goes out.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. That's terrific. Thank you, Katya.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to Jeannie next, who I don't see in the frame, but I do see the top of her ceiling. Wait. And Jeannie's muted. Jeannie's muted. Maybe that's okay. Conflict. I like the shapes. Yeah, I like how it's like really full of form and mass, and it becomes a little emptier and a little more simpler and symbolic at the end. Having a hard something in the park, in the dark. Oh, planting. Oh, yeah, that song. Poisoning pigeons in the park. Is that what it is? I love that. Sometimes you get these really, really different, discordant sort of things. That's so, like this peaceful ending to Poisoning Pigeons in the Park. That's hilarious. So cool. Thank you so much. All right. We'll go to Falky next. And then hi, Falky.
Hi.
There we go.
I don't know if you can, let me see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I started with anxiety and went to exhaustion. And we kind of hit a stage of panic here.
Sure.
I have oh wait, there we go. So panic, and then it kind of starts like despair, sort of. And then exhaustion, which for me is often the way it goes, from kind of worry all the way through the thing.
Yeah, cortisol is very exhausting.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the words are, I was dumbfounded by the truth.
Yeah, there's that Waterboys lyric. And where did you put those words? I'm not seeing them. Is it at the bottom there?
So it goes across. It was kind of
Oh,
this
yeah, I love
weird
it. Looks great. Looks
bite of
great.
truth. Yeah, it was interesting to do.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you, Falcon. David Holloway will have to we'll go. Oh, great. Okay, here we go. We'll play Spotlight. Great. Hey.
Hi. So this is the one I did. You able to see it?
Yeah, I've been afraid of. This might be changes too, right? I don't know.
It looks like a lot of people had that on the brain. So mine was anxiety to splendor. So I started in the first panel with like an expression of like high anxiety and sort of a shift to sort of calming down a little bit. And sort of that sort of I don't know, it just kind of transforming in this panel to becoming something different, and then the splendor at the end and coming out of the panel. I was thinking of how you go from an anxiousness within to stepping into your own power and just being who you are. So.
Yeah. And there's like a lack of fear at the ending too, you know. Cool. Very nice. I like breaking the panel like that, and this almost this really formal kind of almost spiritual looking thing at the end. Cool. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to Kathy next. Replace Spotlight. There we go. And unmute. Excuse me. There. Still muted. Yeah.
There we are.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
This is mine.
I hear music.
I put my song up near the front. I was thinking of loneliness going to celebration.
Oh, great. I hear music open up at the beginning, and then the opening happens.
Yes. So the individual in the corner, then a few other individuals.
Yeah.
But still kind of in a pairing, and the person's separate. And then people sometimes need to be more individual than paired up to kind of welcome someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are more people getting involved, and then a circle is often the way a lot of people can interact. And then this just, was one of the first things I drew for celebration, with the hands in the air kind of thing. And this represents the music, like a staff a little bit.
Yeah.
A music
Cool.
staff
Really nice.
with wiggles.
Little beat-shaped people. I like it. Thanks,
Thank
Kevin. Hey, I think Darlene is up next. Hi, Darlene. What do you got?
I did regret to love.
Wow.
And then my words were never seems enough time for. I kind of like how I could put it all together. Regret never seems enough time to love.
Wow.
I guess I could go here and then you can see.
Yeah, I was looking for the whole thing. There's so much yellow at the end. I like how it creeps in and sort of overflows everything and takes out some of the.
I was kind of mocking how emotions can how color can represent emotions and how it can move through you and on beyond.
Whoa, thanks, Darlene. Terrific. All right, Hannah Laura, we have next. Let's see.
Yeah, I did feeling blah to feeling excited. And I started out feeling very blah, and a little color started coming in, a little disruption in the blah lines, and then a little more and random stuff happening. Some funny vines and leaves started growing, and they got more and more crazy. And then here it's like a little explosion.
Yeah.
Even going off the page. And the lyric really has nothing to do with it. It's A Place Where We Belong, which is from a song called Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel. It's kind of a melancholy song, but I thought at the end wouldn't we all like to belong to a place where things are colorful and
Yeah.
crazy and flowing off the page?
Yeah, totally. That makes total sense. Yeah, love it. From feeling blah to having some belonging. Thanks. Great. Okay, I think I've got Michael up next. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Hey, Michael, how you been?
Hey, I went from fear to uncertainty because it's such a dramatic range.
Whoa. Faces even. You tossed some.
Or are they? Yeah, I
Right.
guess, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not see them.
Um,
Tattered?
the lyric is, he tossed some tattered compliment.
Oh.
It's from an Elvis Costello song.
And you said fear to what?
Fear to uncertainty.
Oh, interesting. I love this. I hope you do more like this, but I know you do lots of all sorts of things. So, wow. Hands kind of like, I mean, I know maybe they're not hands, but they feel like hands and they feel like they're going like this.
Yeah, they're hands because I'm not really, this is my compromise between abstract and representational, I guess.
Cool. I love it. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to Alana next.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm gonna try. My light is a little low here, so I'm gonna try and get this.
No, it looks okay.
Did it start yet, Joe?
Nice.
Okay, so this is nostalgia to regret, and I think so. It starts out as like all of the memories are inside, and that's where they belong because they actually happened, and then they start to leak out into what could have happened, right? Different choices. And then at the end, it's just like regret. I made the wrong choices. All the choices are on the outside and they're perfect, and everything inside is not.
Yeah, this little dense box.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I chose the lyric. I don't know if you can see it. It says, future me hates me. And the me is in the little box.
Oh, wow, really? Oh, cool. Very nice. Thank you. That's terrific.
Yes. Thank you.
I hope we'll share some of these in social media or whatever way, because it'll be great to see better pictures of some of these things.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it's low light here and I don't.
No, it's cool. I just want to drink it in. Cool.
Thank you.
All right, here we go to Katie. Hi, Katie.
Oh, so I went doubt to understanding, and I didn't have a song lyric at first, and I didn't really know what to do for doubt, so I doubted, so I just drew. But I liked how it kind of evolved from, the color got involved, and then I love this little kind of crabby, I'll fight you kind of character thing, and but I also liked that somebody suggested using this lyric that had misunderstanding in it. It was Jake or Kelsey, and and I like that kind of, I don't know, it sort of counters it in a way, but it also works with it, because I think there has to be misunderstanding to reach misunderstanding. So
I mean, it feels like a glowing peak of a mountaintop in this like really peaceful, wonderful moment, but misunderstanding gives it this interesting contrast. It's like, are we understanding this moment? I don't know. It's great. And again, another one who brought in yellow as slowly more yellow came in, and it added this like upbeat quality to it.
Yeah, I'm playing with my Inktense pencils. They're kind of fun. They do unpredictable things a little bit, lines or blobs.
Cool, Katie. Thank you.
Thanks.
So much. All right. Allison, I have next. Let's see.
So my words were confusion to contentment, and the lyric was I can be your mountain. And it's not really a mountain, it's more like a rock, a stone, but I think that's where I was going with this. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh. I hope you'll post that too, because I didn't get enough of a chance of it. But I like that stillness at the end was really I want to say concrete, which is the opposite of abstract, but that stillness was really affecting at the end. That mountain.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. We have Jackie in Chicago. And you might be muted.
There
we go.
So here's mine. I chose, hoping I can get this all in here. I chose ire to contentment.
Ire.
I picked ire because that was the one I put in the chat, and then the next word beneath it was contentment. So, and for reasons unknown to me, the Frank Zappa lyric "and the torture never stops," even though it's going to contentment. So I just put it in there, and I just illustrated the way that, like, you know, according to that little exercise that we did with the shapes, like I started, what does ire feel like, and what does contentment feel like? So
yeah, I mean, I love that, and it definitely has that irony or that contrast, because it does feel content at the end, but it's about torture never stopping, and it makes you like, it's not an easy read. You read it and you realize, like, oh, I have to think about this some more, and it forces some feelings up, and it's cool. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Umi says that's a very strong-willed shell. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, we're going to Kathy next. Okay.
I went backwards, I think, from celebration to hope. And so, and a place where we belong.
Oh, yeah.
I think the thing I like best are the words, and the placement. And I think I got a little too literal, but I really enjoyed this.
Oh, yeah, I don't find it that, I mean, no, I like it. I don't find it that literal. Like, I mean, I think it really works nicely. It's just a peaceful, very organic, it feels like things growing in some ways, belonging is such a powerful concept. And this last image, yeah, I just love it. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
David's on the phone. I wonder if David wants to go. His hand's up. Maybe we should wait and go to Susanna. Hi there, Susanna. Oh, you're muted.
Unmute.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, we're good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
I've got, I actually thought the assignment for everybody was to go from envy to awe. So that's what I did.
Oh, that was very specific, but well, I love the awe.
Then I put in, yeah, and I put in, we're the kids in America by the Go-Go. So it kind of actually ended up working, because it goes like envy, we're the kids, and then, and I love these new Kuretake paints.
Yeah, you're getting great colors out of that. Really fantastic.
I'm just really, really loving these paints. And I've been also enjoying, probably way too much, because it gives me the illusion of perfection and control, but I tape the edges and then take them off, and I have these perfect squares. Yeah. And so this is my celebration, shyness.
Oh.
We're the kids in America. I thought we were supposed to just put them all into one thing. And there was a guy walking the dog out my window in the snow. So now the paint's all smudgy.
Oh no, the drips are part of it. It looks great. Thanks, Susanna. Thanks. We'll go to Angel next. Let's see. There we go. And make sure to unmute yourself. I'll lower.
Hi.
There we go. I'll make sure to unmute yourself. I'll lower. Oh, we can hear me, so I'll try and be quiet. We can hear me, so I'll try and be quiet.
So I did remorse. You cannot see that. My contrast is all kinds of blown out. I did remorse to anger. You can't see it because the contrast is all kinds of blown out. I'm sorry.
That's good.
On the first one.
That's good.
Yeah. So in the first one here, you got the person on the ground feeling remorse, and then I moved, not remorse to anger, remorse to awe. And I tried to use my green marker to represent awe and my pen to represent the remorse. And as the remorse goes away, the person's more in awe. And I chose the lyrics from Yellow by Coldplay, "The stars shine for you," because person in awe of the stars.
Lovely. Lovely. Another one I'd like to see. Oh, I don't know why that echoes there, but we'll move on. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to Katie. Hi there. And yeah, definitely post these in social media and share. That we'd love to see these.
Absolutely. I did a collage, and my words were confusion to mindfulness. So I worked just very dark and heavy to very pastel and light. And then my song lyric was a Regina Spektor song.
Uh-huh.
And the lyrics were, we try not, we try to remember, but still we forget, for the mindfulness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, these are really, and if sometimes I'm just staring, it's because I'm just like looking at the colors and I'm watching them sort of move and change, and I'm watching how they, yeah, great. I love the collage and the deep red as it fades into this pink, and cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. So we have Catherine next. And I think, oh.
Okay, I did envy to awe, and a little more literal, I think. And then the lyric I chose was, I was dumbfounded by the truth, because the truth is awe-inspiring.
Yeah, very nice. I like that. It can be part of, I mean, the literalness works, you know, especially how you have the text in the middle of it, sort of guiding us through the process of the change. Nice. Very nice. Thanks. We have Tomcat next.
Hi. Okay, I am muting myself. Okay, I started out with what you originally said, joy, shy, conflict, and then I went to doing the from envy to awe, and it's not very abstract, and I was trying to force myself to be abstract, and I was getting frustrated, so I did something kind of goofy at the end. Not real happy with this project, even though I think everybody else's work is real good. But I did my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Oh, great.
Kind of threw that in there just to kind of try to force myself to go abstract. So
I agree. It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. And it'll serve you later at some point when you're sort of like trying to express an emotion somehow, and that abstraction will sort of, you'll be reminded of this. Thanks.
Yeah, it was probably the most difficult project so far.
Oh my God.
For this all workshops for me.
Well, glad you stuck it out. Thanks. Okay. We have Aditya. Aditya, do you have something to show? When you come on video, we can.
Hi, my name is Catherine. Who am I speaking with?
Hold on. Somebody is.
Ellie?
Maybe Susan can figure that out.
Elliot, I'm sorry. Is Lisa available?
Susan, do we know who needs to be muted?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to talk to somebody about the pricing of your stylist.
Really?
I
oh my
saw
God.
a stylist today, and when
Hold
I made
on.
the appointment, I was told one price, and then when I went to go pay, it was higher.
I don't
Even though it
see
was just
anybody green other than
a
Aditya.
cut. So I'm just curious about that.
Michael, wait, no, Susan, wait. Catherine, got her. All right, I got it. All right, Aditya. Okay, so what do you have there?
is a Superman like a superhero like the who's fly and then that stuff. He flies and then the super my favorite superhero.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, we're gonna go to Jamie next, and we'll see if Jamie's got her her Wi-Fi figured out and her screen figured out. All right, and you're muted, so give us a second. There we go. Oh, those guys again.
All right, I know he's still back there. I don't know how to get rid of him. All right, so this is way too literal, but what are you gonna do? I never tried anything like this before. I'm with that other dude that said this was the hardest one so far. I concur. This is fear to courage. So I did the person kind of with stage fright. I don't know, over there, here, that one, that's the beginning panel. Here, this guy. And then, you know, it's way too literal. Okay, I'm scared to get on stage. Oh, I'm trying to get on stage. Oh, I got on stage. Well, whoop-de-doo. But I don't know. It's the best I could do under the circumstances. I never tried anything abstract before in my life. So it's try number one. And that's all I got to say about that.
It's a good start. It's a great comic. And it's true, it's not entirely abstract, but it's a good comic, and you actually have used some of the principles in a comic that's not abstract, and it works really nicely. Cool.
Oh, thanks. And my lyrics are Rise Above by the Mighty Black Flag. So there you go. Henry Rollins recently had a birthday, and I may be the only person that gives a shit, but happy birthday, Henry.
I think he's playing in my town really soon.
Yeah, he's coming around. He's playing in my town too, I think in March. Happy birthday, me, in March. Okay, good.
All right, Jen, we're gonna go. Our last one will be Nikki. And Nikki, I think you're muted.
The lyrics I used was someone else's, and it was
all we see is your ceiling. Nikki, all we see is your ceiling. Can we
yeah, I'm just reading my sketchbook, sorry.
Okay. There we go.
The lyrics I used were from Peter Gabriel, In Your Eyes. So thank you for the person in chat that said where they were from. And I did Anxiety to Calm. Can you see that?
Yeah. We saw you painting this too. I didn't know that's what it was. And I didn't know you'd be working on top of it.
The black is Indian ink and the white is house paint. And then, so the ink kind of breaks up over the course and then becomes a flowing calm thing.
Nice.
But really, that was such an interesting exercise, Tom, because as soon as you put the words on, it completely changes your panels.
Yeah.
And suddenly your panels just make sense. And it's like, you know, all the different churches, all the broken churches, the bombed churches.
Wow.
The outdoor churches, the nature churches, you know.
Wow. Yeah, Nikki. Really heavy.
That was probably the best Friday night so far. So I thought I wanted to show you because I know you've been having sneaky peeks.
So cool. Thank you. And I'm so glad you said that about, like, you know, the words changing it. And that is the sort of sneaky thing I was trying to do. And nice, great. So I hope you'll post that. I hope everyone will share this on some sort of proper social media site or in the Mighty Network, which we can share a link for. I'll put it right here. And I'll post a link to the archives of these as well. And
can you post a link to the snakes class? Darlene, a couple people have been hyping up the snakes class.
Yeah, let me go find that really fast. And sorry, I was looking for, I got distracted, but now there's dead air. Now it's my fault. I was looking for an image that Darlene sent me a long time ago of her Pee Wee Herman doll. Maybe it's still there somewhere, saying that snakes class was her favorite class. And so, yeah, I just posted that. So the snakes class, it starts Monday. And what we're going to do is we'll start here, but after that, we sort of like build up and we sort of build up the specificity of the emotions, but we also try and leave some dreamlike imagery there and let the interactions or the sort of relationships between the events and the fragments, we let them sort of like just kind of float together, and we don't try and tell literal stories. And it's a way of just being like vulnerable and safe, and at the same time, or kind of like visible, but also kind of hiding at the same time. It's kind of like saying, here's something, but don't look too closely. It's a little bit of a secret, but I want you to see it anyway. That's sort of how I think about that class. So I really,
it's cool. It's cool. There are a lot of people lining up over there talking about
great,
how great the snakes class is.
Oh, that's really nice.
And you only do it once a year, right?
Yeah, I used to do it in fall because I used to do it around my birthday, but it makes more sense now to do it in the spring. So, oh well. But yeah, I mentioned once in the video that you see on that page that it's like, it was the first class I really developed that was a little deeper than the stuff I had been teaching. And, you know, I got really good at teaching like how do words and pictures work and how can you be clear in your storytelling. And, you know, if you're trying to make this action work with that idea, how does it work? But this was just more about like digging in deeper into your own sort of story and digging in deeper to the things you don't even know yet and seeing if you can sort of let some things come out. So yeah, it's one of my favorite classes. It's mostly, as I mentioned earlier, asynchronous, meaning that it's mostly stuff that's available in the network already. It's via video, PDF, some readings, but we'll be doing some live Zooms on Mondays because people are really have found a appreciation of that through the pandemic. But you don't have to be there for the live calls. It's mostly all happens in the network. So anyway, thanks everyone for letting me do one of these.
Thanks, Tom.
And join Susan in the after party. And I don't have much else to say, but I'll be checking things out on Instagram and stuff like that. And next week we have Mel Gilman. And oh, I did have something to mention. There is a book by my old friend Ariel Bordeaux. It's called Clutter. And we're doing an in-person book release party for it in Providence, Rhode Island, but at 8 p.m. next week, although maybe more like 8:30, after next Friday's workshop, we're going to just do a live Q&A with her. So I might bug you all to sort of like finish with Melanie and then come to the Ariel's thing, but maybe you want to go to something instead. I don't know. Anyway, thanks everybody and have a great week, and I'll see y'all some other time.
Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Tom.
Thanks.
Tom,
Thanks,
what
Tom.
time does your snakes class? What time is your snakes class offered on Monday nights?
Well, the live Zooms are going to be 8 p.m. Eastern, and they're only going to be about an hour, but that's the story. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Great class.
Thanks.
Yeah, really good. Thank you.
On Monday I have to go to school, but can I join on the